Hi, it's Dave again. Here we continue our introductory video series to the Trivaeo and CloudWorksIT user interface. After login, you'll be presented with this splash screen. We call it a cover sheet. The cover sheet, as I indicated in previous videos, is configurable. It's arbitrarily configurable by the application partner that created the application pack that you signed up for. So it needn't necessarily look anywhere close to what you're looking at now, but in a general sense, this is what you should expect. So I'll just grab my highlighter here. Here at the top of the screen, you got access to the major application building blocks to you as a user in the solution. Any applications which are enabled but not licensed in your solution will be grayed out. That shows that they potentially exist for you in the solution but haven't been activated. So moving down to the next section of the solution, here is a quick access box to things that affect you as a user, albeit you see me using it here as an administrator. These are the things that affect me directly and now. So they're my lists of clients and employees, contracts and so on. And these, and what shows here is also predetermined by the applications that you have access to. On the right of that is the team room area. I've created a single team room here, which we'll have a look at in a second. But a team room is an isolated area of the system that aggregates and unifies the users you have working in a team with projects that they're working on and the documents that support those projects. Bound together by a collaboration and chat interface, it allows your people to work together in an uncluttered environment on whatever task or projects they have going on. So the remaining icons on the screen are set by the applications that have been enabled and whether or not the administrator has activated those so that they appear on the cover sheet. At any point though on the cover sheet you can click a major application, or you can click a specific task or envelope container here for a specific action like adding a contract or starting a new project, or you can click anywhere in the free space or close it here to return to the main desktop inside the platform. So this is think of it as a shortcut view that will lead you quickly to areas that you use commonly in the system. So I'm going to click in a free space here, or I could hit the yellow cross and it will take me to my dashboard. By default, I have mine pointing to my main menu to show me a rolled up dashboard of all of the things that are critical to me as a user. And these are configurable by the users themselves by hitting the little pen icon and editing the settings of what widgets from what applications are currently being shown on your main dashboard. So you can have as many or as few of these as you like. And yeah, they're designed to show you relevant, quick access to information. You notice a lot of these have got tags in them at the moment. As a brand new system with one user of me, it doesn't yet have any data in it. I did set the annual targets of my company, my fictitious electricians company, to being £100,000. Not very aggressive, but there we go. Achievable targets are good to aim for, and you can see that sitting there. That was done in my initial administrative configuration. So that's enough on those for now. We'll look at them in more detail on an application by application basis later on. I've got the ability to search across my solution up here. It's wildcard, so I could search, I could enter a name and it would show me all contacts and clients and customers that match that name. There's access to a help, if so configured in your solution, and also a handy little clock up here. Let me just highlight it for you. That can be used if you're tracking tasks or managing time on projects. Now, last but not least, up here on the top right is a chat option. This is really handy if you've got multiple users on the system that want to talk to each other in real time, even if you're in separate offices. This would spawn a chat window that enables you to engage with others. At the moment it's blank because I'm the only user on the platform, so there's nothing else for it to show me. So moving back over to the left side of the screen, we got the confirmation of my company logo, and if I want more space on the desktop, I can hide the leftmost menus so that I get the full screen estate available to me whatever I'm doing. So I'll bring that back by unhiding it again, click again on the collapse icon. So let's have a look at how these are laid out, the applications and the breadcrumbs to the applications down the left hand side. Each major application or major area of the application has a parent item and a drop down with each. So if you're not an administrator, you're not going to see a link for administration unless some of the applications you have access to, you have a role or privilege to administer a part of them. So I'll look at that one last. But in a general sense, each application is summarized by its main parent item. So CRM is obviously made up of a lot of constituents, which includes contacts, companies and clients. If I click on CRM itself, you'll see I've also got a cover sheet for CRM. So I can jump quickly into the cover sheet for each application by clicking on it, or I can hit the drop down and go straight to a specific sub-application. So this navigation method is identical across all applications in the CRM and ERP suite. So you learn how to use this once, it is ultimately intuitive and easy to follow for the rest. So another area here are the drop downs by my username. I've added my own logo, you can see there, my own picture. My World. My World summarizes all of the data across all of the applications for you as an individual user. It is your view of the slice through the entire data set that encapsulates and presents everything that affects you as a user. So workflow items that have been targeted to you, requests that you've got open with other people, your own details so that you can edit yourself and change your picture. A lot of the information and data in here is proprietary to each user. For example, their emergency contact details, their CV, and so on. And as an administrator, you set what shows and what is viewable by everybody else. So that's a quick intro to that. You notice here I've got a getting started function showing again. Obviously, as in the first video you saw me as an administrator setting up the company, I had some getting started guides for setting up my company. I think there were 6 steps in total. Now that I've entered the CRM application, there's a new set of steps being shown to me, and I could just follow these and work my way through them. As soon as you click on a task to achieve it, it will be marked as done. So if I hit do it now, so it's giving me this pop-up, by the way, because I was editing a sub-record. I haven't made any changes, so I'm not going to save it, but it's warning me if I leave, I'll lose those changes. That's fine. So now you'll notice on the getting started, it thinks that I have begun the process of adding a company in CRM. Until you've completed all of the tasks will continue showing, or you can hit hide tasks at any time that you want to. Up here, hide the steps. So right, back to the main applications overview. So each of the major applications, you're now getting familiar with this, has got its own cover sheet and its own set of reports and widgets, or widget dashboard. So if I look at HR, I can see those associated with my employee list, their holidays, objectives for planning and continuous improvement, the org chart of the company. That's really cool. It's drag and drop too. Timesheets, logging my work, etc., etc. Service desks. This is an interesting area. These are internal and external. So I could have a service desk that I published on my website that let my own clients contact me if they got a request. And I can have another type of help desk which is internal to the company where people can report problems with their IT gear, for example. So each major application has got its own main dashboard, and underneath the sub-applications are accessible as well here on the left-hand side. So that was a really quick introduction to basic navigation. The user interface is identical in all use cases. The only things that change are what applications are published plus what role and permissions does the user have, as those roles and permissions will dictate what shows here. A quick view into the administration interface before we finish, and you can see here as a main administrator I've got all of the settings that affect the solution globally, things like dictionaries, that's adding terms, terminology and steps to all of the different applications. How do I want to be notified, the meeting rooms available across the system, and so on. And yeah, I can work my way through each of these. Some of the applications have got a major configuration element to them, like CRM or my help desks and service desks, and others are encapsulated in broad configuration features. So I'm just going to go back to the main cover sheet here and show you something that some people get trapped with quite quickly. If I'm in a team room and I'm going into the main project huddle room which I'd created earlier, what you'll notice is that my cover sheet in the team room is now the cover sheet for the team room, and at first glance I think I've lost access to all my other applications. The idea of the team room is to keep me focused on the tasks I need to achieve in that team, so I can go back to the team room dashboard when I've completed the work I need to do in this team room. And I'll look at the team room in much more detail a bit later on in another video. You can see that it's collapsing and showing me information to keep me focused on the tasks and activities that this team is associated with, whether it's across projects or whether it's documents, or we're just talking about what we're doing in a blogging sense, or we're creating a knowledge base in a wiki for this project. This is to keep me focused on this area. When I've finished and I want to leave the team room, I do so here. That will then take me back out of the team room and put me back on my main dashboard where I can return to my cover sheet. So there you go, a really quick introduction to the user interface and the layout of the applications and the sub apps. Hopefully you found that useful and intuitive. See you on the next video.